Okay, it's 7:30, so we'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. Thank you everyone for being here. Invocation by Pastor Jan Eckstead, First Christian Church. Jan.
Let us pray. Lord, we come to you humbly this evening, asking for your blessing. We pray that you will bless this community, the people of this community, our police, fire, and detention personnel, and others who work so diligently for our city. We ask for your blessing of the city council, that they might make decisions that will honor you, this city, this county, and this country. And we ask it in your name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Leslie?
Here.
Baker?
Right here.
Peterson?
Here.
Peterson?
Here.
Lee?
Here.
Harmon?
Here.
Steinbeck?
Here.
Campbell?
Over here.
Okay, if I could, if you have a copy of the agenda, which if you don't have one, there's some copies in the back. If I could draw your attention to the top portion of that for the meeting procedures. The public may address specific agenda items at the pleasure of the mayor. If requested by the mayor, please state your name and address and limit your remarks to about 3 minutes or less. Out of respect to the city employees, we request that any complaints or criticisms of employees not be aired in a public meeting. Concerns about employees should be brought to the attention of the city administrator or mayor. An individual in violation will be declared out of order. And also, I'd like to say that a current copy of the Open Meetings Act in Nebraska is posted on the wall at the back of the council chambers. We'll move right on to the consent agenda. Item number 1 is approved minutes of August 2nd, 2016. Item number 2, place on file treasurer's report for July 2016. Item number 3 is authorize the sale of additional surplus vehicles and equipment at the next police impoundment auction to be held September 18th, 2016. And item number 4, approve application by Mid-Plains Food and Lodging Inc. for a special designated license on October 8th, 2016 from 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. at the D&N Event Center, 501 Walker Road for a MCF MMA entertainment event. And item number 4A, approval application by Scully LLC DBA Scully Shooters for a special designated license on September 17th, 2016 from 1 p.m. to 12 a.m. at the D&N Event Center, East Walker Road for a roller derby. 501 East Walker Road.
Move that we approve the consent agenda items 1 through 4A.
Second.
And that motion passes. Item number 5 on the regular agenda, approved recommendation of the City of North Platte Northwestern Energy Economic Development Fund Committee to approve application by Pal's Brewing Company for a $10,000 request for installation of natural gas line along South Buffalo Avenue.
Move that we approve the recommendation of the City of North Platte Northwest Energy Economic Development Fund Committee to approve application by Pal's Brewing Company for a $10,000 request for the installation of a natural gas line along South Buffalo Bill Avenue.
Second.
Second.
Jim, question for you. You know, since I wasn't around last time this was used, where's this money for this fund to go from? Is it just ratepayers?
It comes as it's actually a separate fee that is line itemed out on your gas bill every month.
Okay. So I mean, this 10,000 will get reimbursed.
It
does every
right.
year.
It replenishes. It's an
Okay.
ongoing fund.
Okay.
Eventually, it'll serve others out there, yes.
Jim?
This is a very infrequently used fund, as some of us have observed, and we don't see it very often. I think it's a good thing, but it is, nevertheless, could be considered tax dollars. And I guess my question, is there a rep here from
Brent? Be so kind. Oh, Jim, would you turn on the mic?
Yeah. I have a question. Seems to me, unless my recall is not accurate, that you came here with a proposal to build a facility, and at that time it was sort of
Hold on, Jim.
understood.
No, Jim.
This is
That would be
representative from the
I'm
gas,
sorry?
this is representative from the gas company. I'm sorry.
From the gas company. Oh,
You want Pal's
oh, I'm
Brewery?
sorry.
You
My
want Pal's?
question is for someone else.
Sorry,
Sorry.
Sorry,
Sorry.
Brent.
There's the guy. There's the guy for my question. As I understood it, you came to us and everybody was all fired up about your project, and I still am.
Good.
I think many of us are. It seemed to me that one of the best things that we liked about this project was that you were not coming forward with an asking for any tax dollars to be plugged into this operation. And now it seems like this is sort of a different scenario. Would you like to explain that to us?
Sure. I guess the way I took your question, James, was we asked for funds from the North Platte Community Growth, funds from the Chamber, which would typically be for things to help our land or help our building or build jobs, and we would own those assets. As we looked at this fund, where the money comes from Northwestern to 3 cities, Kearney, Grand Island, and us every year, and maybe we could put a spin on it for tax dollars. I guess we looked at it more so from the private sector, but for an asset that we would ask for help on that we would not own and we would never own, and we feel it would be a good asset for anyone else who would develop out there and would benefit also. So it wouldn't just be for our property or our business, it would be for the community, I guess, in our opinion. So we looked at it a little different, and we're not asking for any money from the Quality Growth Funds. We're asking for it from the Northwestern Energy Fund, which I think's been a little bit underutilized, and I guess we would like to see it utilized more as the town grows and look at some other avenues for it. But yes, that's what we're asking for, James.
I'm not opposed to the concept. I think it's a perfect use for this particular fund, especially in terms of infrastructure extension, because I think it would be good for that area, and I'd like to see some other development out there, and I think this may help facilitate some of that. But I guess I was just a little bit troubled by the fact that first you said, hey, we're not asking for any handouts, and now it seems like you sort of are. And so that was my concern, and I just wanted to see what you had to say.
Well, we're not looking for a handout for something that we would own, but we are looking for a handout for, I guess you'd call it, James, to build some infrastructure out there that to help with gas all the way around out there. And we feel would be a good, the fund's designed to promote more natural gas usage, and we would be a good high volume natural gas user, so we felt this was a great fit for us.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
One question, I don't know if this goes to the gas company or if it goes up here, if you guys know, whoever knows an answer to it, I guess. Normally, whenever we extend a gas line, who normally pays for that? How does that normally get put in?
Brent, if you'd be so kind.
Yes, thank you. Typically, it's a feasibility study that we do for like services. We'll look at it over a 3-year period. Now, main extensions are a little different breed of cat. If they're feasible within the guidelines of the Public Utilities Commission, which this particular project is, then that gives us the go-ahead to either do it internally through our budgets or access this fund, which, like Jim said, is kind of sitting there dormant. It needs to be used. Northwestern looks at it as a win-win for us, typically because it's going to be about 1.5 million BTU load per year. So that's a substantial growth for our community, not only through jobs, but also for Northwestern Energy. So we view it as a win-win situation, and quite honestly, I believe the fund is set up primarily to do exactly what we're doing with it in this instance. So.
When was the, I was gonna say, when was the last time you did a major extension
I
like
think
this?
19
And did you use this fund or did you use it out of your own personal budgets?
We haven't done really any major extensions for quite some time. A lot of the growth in North Platte is, you know, in the southwest part of town. We had infrastructure up to Lakeview, so it's you know, moving a little bit west of there. We already provide natural gas toward Lake Maloney, so picking up those subdivisions out there along the Highway 83 corridor wasn't a big issue either. Typically, if we're gonna do something out of our own budget, it's a small, like a little chunk of 300 or 400 foot. And that's usually to pick up multiple houses. In this situation, you know, it's hard to compare this to homes nowadays. Most homes nowadays are almost small commercial loads. People like a lot of conveniences. So $1.5 million load is big. So, you know, we look at that as a good builder for running line out there. And just like I said, the fund is sitting there. It's the last time it was used, Jim might know for sure, 1990.
No, it was actually used in 2006.
2006, and that was to pave roads. I can't remember what the
We
name
put
is.
the infrastructure in down on the extension of Prospect that we've been working with various people to develop.
Yeah. So, you know, it's a fund that gets used more probably in the Carneys and Grand Islands, so we kind of like to see it be utilized, and like I said, we're all for this project because it encompasses everything that we're looking to do with the fund.
One final question. So if you have more areas that want to, let's say, add on to natural gas, this is the same way you would recommend for them to do it too?
You know, possibly. It depends upon the location, depends upon the loads, it depends upon if it's residential or commercial. So, you know, there's a lot of variables that come into play. We won't really, we will run main extensions into like a housing development if we can get a few people to commit to wanting to sign up with us. A lot of times we'll ask them for a letter, and that's just kind of a, you know, a gentleman's agreement that yes, we'd like to have your services brought in. Where the brewery's a standalone deal, you know, it's just a good place for us to get more infrastructure out there and utilize that funds where it was set up to be intended to do so.
Awesome, thanks.
Just a few questions, but who else other than the brewery will be tied into this main?
At this current time, nobody would.
Okay, and then you said it's about $1.5 million BT load, just from the brewery is what you're guesstimating?
Yep.
Okay, and what, like that surcharge that goes into the fund, what per, you know, how much per BTU is going into that, do you know?
I'm not 100% sure on that.
I mean,
I think it's actually a percentage of your usage. I
Well,
don't
yeah.
remember what that
Well, I mean, if they're
is.
using, you know, $1.5 million BTU usage,
It's gonna pay the fund back to the extent of 10 houses or better.
okay. So that's what I was wondering, like, how many years down the road it would like pay itself off?
I
If
would
it's
say it
just
wouldn't
them out
take,
there.
you know, I mean, it's gonna be for potential more growth out there, more customers. It's building our infrastructure. I mean, it's hard to say how much growth we'll get out in that area, but it just utilizes the fund to help us get it out there, plus help bring new jobs and more economic stability to North Platte, which our new housing markets are not leaping in big bounds, but
Okay.
you know, any kind of growth that we can see coming into town, which that fund was set up to do, like I said, in our minds, it's a win-win situation.
Okay, last question for you. West side or east side of the road?
West side.
Okay, are you gonna tear the golf course up to tap into it?
Nope.
Or are you gonna go
We'll
through the
come off
ditch?
of State Farm Road, the corner of State Farm Road.
Okay.
And
So it's
we'll
just gonna end cap where then?
Probably at the one end or the other of Powell's property.
Okay, so basically, I mean, we're just gonna run a line from State Farm up a few hundred feet right to their property and that's it? Who else
Yeah,
is it?
you know, we have engineers that do the feasibility studies on it nowadays. I think it's around 900 foot.
Well, I understand that, but I'm just.
Yeah.
you're
We're
talking
not
about-
gonna be tearing up anybody's property. We either go in road right away or easement
Well, I get that, I mean, but we're talking, you know, down the road, other property or other businesses moving in to utilize this. If somebody were to move in north of them in that empty lot there, or even on the east side of the road in that empty lot, we'd have to extend this line, correct?
We could choose to do so as a company. They could go to the same fund if it was another commercial situation. I would guess that's what it would probably be in that vicinity, would be another commercial. And with the feasibility study has to make sense or we can't do anything. So this one did become feasible, even to, you know, run the lines out there. So that gives us the go ahead to move forward. We will not and cannot put any infrastructure into town on the backs of our current customers. It's got to cover its O&M costs, which is operations and maintenance.
I understand that. You said right off the corner there?
Yeah.
That's at the, I think it's a tight end. of the northwest corner
Nature's
now, isn't it?
house that
See, it's right
is
on the
there,
road.
we already provide gas.
That's what I thought, okay. All right, thanks.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. Motion passes. Item number 6, action on ordinance number 3954, creating water extension district number 261 at North Mills and Avenue and Front Street, thence west along Front Street to North Buffalo Bill Avenue, then south along North Buffalo Bill Avenue to West 6th Street, approximately 750 feet.
An ordinance creating water extension district number 261, beginning at North Mill Avenue and Front Street, thence west along Front Street to North Buffalo Bill Avenue, then south along North Buffalo Bill Avenue to West 6th Street, within the corporate limits or the extraterritorial zoning jurisdiction of the city of North Platte, Lincoln County, Nebraska, establishing the outer boundaries of the district, designating the size, location, and terminal points, and referring to the plans and specifications and estimates of the city engineer in connection therewith on file with the city clerk.
I move that the 3 separate readings on ordinance number 3954 be waived.
Second.
Hey, Jim, do you have a reason why we need to run through this in less than 3?
Tom and I have been working with the railroad, that particular block out there. The railroad approached the owners and asked them if they would be willing to work with them to get hooked onto the city water. And as we explored that possibility, the reason they weren't on it is because there wasn't any water available to them there. And so the railroad has agreed to basically pay for the district. And so in order to try and get that accomplished in the time frame that they're looking for, we're asking that the council would suspend the readings in an effort to try and pair this project up when we let it with the sanitary sewer improvement district, or excuse me, connection district that we're building out by the Iron Horse Golf Course along Halligan there, and tie those together. Hopefully we get better bids on them.
Hold on, did I hear you right? The railroad's gonna pay for this? Like UP is gonna pay for this to happen?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Now move that we pass ordinance number 3954, creating water extension district number 261 at North Mills Avenue and Front Street, thence west along Front Street to North Buffalo Bill Avenue, and then south along North Buffalo Bill Avenue to West 6th Street, approximately 750 feet.
Second.
Motion passes. Item number 7, approve agreement for independent contractor services / government access channel for 2016-2017 budget year with Cynthia Guccimaker.
I move that we approve an agreement for independent contractor services / government access channel for the 2016-2017 budget year with Cynthia Guccimaker.
Second.
Yes. Do we know what we get for this? I mean, do we have any way of assessing to what extent this is actually used by our public? I guess I would ask that of Cynthia.
You'd have to ask Charter.
How do you measure your viewership?
You'd have to ask Charter what their subscription is, because they're the only ones that know that information.
I just wonder if anybody watches it.
Well, I know a lot of people watch it, just like the Seaboard.
I do occasionally, I just was curious as to, what we're getting for it. So,
Are you still putting them on YouTube as well?
I'd like to add, after the meeting, I'm recording it back here, and then I post it on the city's website, so anybody that misses the meeting can go there and view the meeting and previous meetings. So it's not just on the television now.
so regular viewership has an opportunity to see this.
Anybody worldwide
uh,
can see the meetings now. And
Thank
since,
you.
that's since the 1st of May.
huh? Who knows?
That's what he was working up to.
Huh?
No F-bombs.
Motion passes. And item number 8 is adopt a resolution approving claim and authorize the issuance of warrants of a warrant to Steele's Roofing and Construction Inc. in the amount of $117,434.59 to pay approved claim and referring to and incorporating the terms and conditions of ordinance number 3874 relating to warrant financing passed and approved on May 21st, 2013.
Move that we adopt a resolution approving claim and authorizing the issuance of a warrant to Steele's Roofing and Construction Incorporated in the amount of $117,434.59 to pay approved claim and referring to and incorporating the terms and conditions of ordinance number 3874 relating to warrant financing passed and approved on May 21st of 2013.
Second.
Motion passes. And item number 9 is claims.
Move that we pay some claims.
And that motion passes as well.
Second.
Yeah, I wrote your name down. Fun stuff, huh?
Thank you, everyone.
No meeting tomorrow.
What channel is that?
180 on Charter. If you have Charter, it's on 180. And if you don't, you can get on the World Wide Web, on the city's website, and go to local media, and you can find the
Community
media.
development block campaigning, we're doing down in the area beach and